Hi everyone, how are you again? Let's learn cognitive psychology with me. Today, we will learn about remembering complex events. Let's get started. Memory errors and memory gaps. 1/3 of participants in a research, 9 of 30, reported seeing books in the office. Their recall was based on their expectations, not by reality. Memory errors, a hypothesis. Memory connections tie together similar episodes. For example, a trip to the beach is connected in memory to your recollection of other trips. Sometimes the connections tie an episode to certain ideas, part of your understanding of the episode, or the ideas triggered by some element within the episode. Elements of the episodes stored separately from one another and are linked by connections. Actually, this makes sense. Sometimes when we have a holiday somewhere, we may remember other things connected to the holidays. Connections. Connections have both positive and negative sides. The positive side is that it's important and memory retrieval. We need connections to retrieve the memory. However, connections can also create problems. For example, losing track of the boundary between the episodes. Which information comes from which event? In the end, it may create transplant errors. Memory connection helps and hurts memory. How can memory connection help you? It helps because the connections serve as retrieval paths to locate information in memory. At the same time, memory connection can also hurt you because they make it difficult to see where the remembered episode stops and other related knowledge begins. This results in intrusion errors, errors in which other knowledge intrudes into the remembered event. The DRM procedure, the Deasy, Rodiger, and McDermott DRM task, is a false memory paradigm in which subjects are presented with lists of semantically related words. For example, nurse, hospital, etc. at encoding. After a delay, subjects are asked to recall or recognize these words. Schematic knowledge. Schema, which comes from Greek, or schemata in plural, is the broad pattern of what's normal in a situation. Schema is the broad pattern of what's normal in a situation. Schema helps in many ways. It tells you normal occurrence, supplements what you actually remember based on your schematic knowledge. Schema also guides your understanding and reconstruct things you can't remember. However, schema also has negative side effects. It can promote errors in perception and memory. Also, elements that don't fit drop out of memory or are changed. An example in schema is that I am watching a movie now, but suddenly I have to go to the toilet. When I come back, wow, Tom Cruise perhaps has flown an airplane, so I missed a few minutes of the movie. But then I can just guess, oh, perhaps Tom Cruise will be okay because he is the hero in the movie. Although I missed a few minutes of the movie, I just used my schema or a guess of what is normal occurrence. Usually Tom Cruise will make it. This can promote errors in my perception because perhaps Tom Cruise doesn't make it. Anyway, I can also Google the movie so that I know the end of the story. That's an example. The cost of memory errors. Memory connections have positive sides, retrieval paths, locate information in storage, enrich understanding, add perception and recollection with well-informed conclusion. At the same time, memory connections also have negative sides. Memory connections undermine memory accuracy, leading to memory errors. Eyewitness errors. Identifying the wrong culprit or misreporting how an event unfolded can send an innocent person to jail and allow a guilty person to walk free. Planting false memories. Different questions, how the questions are phrased, may have a big influence. Leading questions. In other studies, participants were asked questions containing overt misinformation about an event. More than 1/3 of participants incorporated the false suggestions into their memory of the original event. Errors, more likely if the post-event information supplements what the person remembers as opposed to what contradicts it. Misinformation effect. Memory errors that result from misinformation received after an event. That's the definition of misinformation effect. Why? One word can make a difference, for example, hit versus smashed. Repeated attempts at recall. In one study, college students remembered genuine events, but after repeated attempts at recall, they added fictitious episodes. Errors encouraged through evidence, fictitious pictures. Applied social pressure. Guided imagery that is known to foster false memories. Avoiding memory errors. Memory confidence. People tend to trust memories that are expressed with confidence. There are circumstances in which certainty and memory accuracy are related. However, there are memories expressed with confidence that turn out to be false. Why? People's confidence in memory is often influenced by factors that have no impact on memory accuracy. For example, feedback from others, like, "Good, you identified the suspect." That was the feedback, although it might be true or not, whether that person was a suspect. Forgetting. Causes of forgetting. Passage of time, retention interval, the amount of time that elapses between the initial learning and the retrieval. As the interval grows, the more difficult it is to retrieve the event. Decay theory of forgetting. Memories fade or erode with the passage of time. Perhaps the relevant brain cells die off. Interference theory. New learning interferes with older learning. New information gets interwoven with older information. New information replaces the old information. That's why the new learning interferes with older learning. Perhaps when we learn something new, we forget the older things that we learned previously. Retrieval failure. Sometimes retrieval failure is partial. TOT, tip of the tongue phenomenon. People remember the starting letter of the word and approximately what it sounds like. Undoing forgetting. Hypnosis can return to an earlier event and remember virtually everything. The reality is, however, otherwise. Hypnotized participants say more to comply with the hypnotist's instructions. Their memories are a mix of recollections, guesses, and inferences. The hypnotized individuals have no idea which of these are which. Cognitive interview can diminish forgetting. Cognitive interview helps police to maximize the accuracy and quantity from eyewitnesses. It has several elements, including context reinstatement, steps that put witnesses back into the mindset they were at the time of the crime. Avoid forgetting by revisiting memories periodically. If you don't want to forget something, just try to remember the memory again and again. If you want to learn a new language, you have to learn some new words, then you can say those words aloud. Then you will remember them. For example, I will tell you a word in Swedish, bra. Bra means good. Bra means good. Remember, bra is good in Swedish. If you want to remember that word bra in Swedish, which means good in English, then you need to repeat it over and over again. Memory, an overall assessment. Memory connections have a purpose. Retrieval paths to make memory search possible. To avoid errors, restrict the connections, but then you would lose the ability to locate your own memories within long-term storage. Reliance on schematic knowledge is good to guide your attention to what's informative in a situation rather than what's self-evident. Autobiographical memory. Autobiographical memory is memory for our own episodes and events of our lives. It plays a central role in shaping how we think about ourselves. Memory and the self. People remember information about themselves better. It's called self-reference effect. Self-reference effect. Memory errors may happen. People are biased. People tend to rely on their own consistency. How we view ourselves shape our memories. Memory and emotion. Memory consolidation. Memory consolidation is the process through which memory is kept in place. Memory consolidation is the process through which memory is kept in place. What promotes memory consolidation? Good night's sleep and emotion. Remember to try to have a good night's sleep and emotion. Emotion enhances consolidation. Emotional events. You will pay more attention to emotional events. Emotion influences what you remember and focus. Different emotion leads to different goals. For example, if you're afraid, your goal is to escape. If you're happy, your goal is to relax and enjoy. Flashbulb memories. Flashbulb memories are memories of extraordinary clarity, especially for highly emotional events, retained despite the passage of many years. Why are some flashbulb memories remembered well and some are not? It depends on how often, with whom people discuss the flashbulb events. The discussions encourage people to polish their reports that replace the original memories. Social aspects of remembering means people share stories, comparing their recollections, picking up new information that could be wrong. Traumatic memories. Traumatic events are remembered for many years. Why? Because of the consolidation. Substantial errors. Why? Because of the sleep deprivation, head injuries, substance abuse, and stress. It can undermine memory. Repression and recovered memories. Repression or dissociation are used to push painful memories out of awareness. This is called self-protective mechanism. These memories still exist in long-term storage and can be recovered. Most memory researchers are skeptical about this. Painful events are well remembered, which is the opposite of the self-protective mechanism in place. This means that there is no repression or dissociation. Repression and recovered memories. Memories can be genuinely lost for a while and then recovered. This is a result of retrieval failure. Memory comes back when there is a cue available. Some recovered memories can be false memories. That means we can perhaps remember things incorrectly. The idea of self-protective mechanism hiding painful memories from view is controversial. Long-term remembering. Long-term remembering. The longer the retention intervals are, the greater the amount of forgetting is. Memories from long time ago can sometimes turn out to be entirely accurate. Retention interval is important for memory. Memory gets worse as time goes by. How general are the principles of memory? People tend to remember important turning points in their lives and use the turning points as a means to organize their autobiographical recall. There are also memory patterns related with someone's age. People generally remember their late adolescence and early adulthood, a pattern known as the reminiscence bump. The reminiscence bump. Let's continue. Autobiographical memory, which is a memory of ourselves, can last for years and years. If the person revisits the target memories, the rehearsals reduce forgetting. If I keep remembering my holiday, for example, to Scotland, then I will try to remember and remember it. I will try not to forget it. It's the same with you. If you have something nice that you would like to remember, just revisit the memory so that you will keep remembering the event. Autobiographical memory is also open to error. For example, flashbulb memories that may be false. Misinformation can reshape memories for traumatic events, just as it can alter memories for trivial episodes in the laboratory. How general are the principles of memory? All memories depend on connections. The connections promote retrieval. The connections facilitate interference as they allow memory to blur into another. The rules that govern implicit memory may be different from those that govern explicit memory. Some factors that affect autobiographical remembering, for example, the role of emotion, may be irrelevant to other sorts of memory. How to remember long term? The better the original learning, the slower the forgetting. Revisit the material. Brief refresher helps. Now, do you still remember what good, the word good is in Swedish? 1, 2, 3. Bra. Bra in Swedish means good in English. Revisit the material. Remember, bra means good. Go back periodically and review what you have learned. Test yourself. Use flashcards to review the material. That's it for today. Thank you so much for learning cognitive psychology with me. See you next time.